There is something different about you. You have felt it your entire life. You have seen the signs, the obstacles, the hardships that never seem to let up. And deep inside, you have wondered, why me? Why does my path seem heavier, my burdens greater, my battles fiercer? What if I told you that you were never meant to live an ordinary life? That the things you thought were breaking you were actually building you? That everything, the rejections, the betrayals, the long nights filled with doubt and silence, was preparing you for something beyond what you can see right now? You were not selected by chance. You were chosen. Before your first breath, before you ever opened your eyes to this world, an assignment had already been written with your name on it. And with that assignment came preparation. But preparation never comes in comfort. Preparation comes in fire, in struggle, in the moments when giving up seems easier than continuing. There were others who were chosen, but their paths were different, softer, easier. Yours was never meant to be, because what you carry, what you are destined to become, is greater than you can imagine. Somewhere along the way, life convinced you that the pain was a punishment, that the struggles meant you were forgotten. But I am here to tell you today, you were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. You were being refined. And now the time has come, the time to understand why you were set apart, why you were given a road that others feared to walk, why you have always felt different, misaligned with the world around you. Listen closely, because today you will hear the truth you have been searching for. This message will answer the question that has echoed in the depths of your soul. Why me? Before we begin, if this message is already reaching you, if something inside of you is stirring, make sure you subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And in the comments tell me, have you ever felt like your struggles had a deeper meaning? Now, let us begin. You were not selected by chance. You were not born into this world by accident. You were not placed here by mere coincidence or some random twist of fate. No, long before your first breath, your existence was already spoken into being. Your purpose was etched into the fabric of time, and your name was whispered into the universe with intention. Look around you. Billions of people walk this earth, yet not all are called to the same road. Some are given easier lives, smoother journeys, fewer trials. But you? Your road has been different from the very beginning. Perhaps you noticed it in childhood, when things never seemed to come easily for you, when hardships arose at every turn, when people you trusted walked away, when circumstances forced you to grow up faster, to bear burdens others never had to carry. It seemed unfair. It seemed like life had chosen to make things harder for you than for those around you. But what if I told you that none of it was by accident, that you were selected, handpicked, not for suffering, but for something greater? There is an ancient truth that has echoed throughout history. God does not choose the untested for the highest callings. Look at the lives of those who have left their mark on the world, those who have shaped history. Not a single one of them walked an easy road. Instead, they endured trials that would have broken lesser men and women. They were tested, refined, and strengthened because they were chosen. Think about the fire that gold must pass through before it becomes pure, the pressure a diamond must endure before it shines. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were meant to be refined. Your trials were never punishments. They were confirmations. Proof that your life carries weight, that your calling is significant, that you are set apart for something that only you can fulfill. And that is why the enemy has tried so hard to break you. Because the moment you realize your true worth, the moment you step into your calling, nothing will be able to stop you. How many times have you questioned the struggles you faced? How many nights have you spent wondering why your life seemed harder than others? But let me ask you this. If you were simply ordinary, why would the challenges be so extraordinary? The truth is, the weight of your trials is equal to the weight of your destiny. The more valuable something is, the more it is tested. The more powerful something is, the more it is opposed. And you? You have been opposed because of who you are meant to become. The enemy of purpose does not waste time on those who pose no threat. The people who move through life with ease, untouched by hardship, are not carrying what you carry. But you, your battles have been relentless. Your struggles have been fierce. Because what is inside of you is powerful beyond measure. From the moment you entered this world, forces beyond what you can see have worked to keep you from realizing the truth. The truth that you were created for a reason. That every trial, every rejection, every tear you've shed was not a sign of failure, but a sign of selection. Think of an elite soldier. Not everyone can be one. Not everyone can endure the training, the discipline, the preparation required. And the more significant the mission, the more intense the training. The weaker ones are filtered out, but the strong, the ones who were chosen, they are pushed beyond what they thought they could endure. You have been trained in the battlefield of life. You were not chosen for ease. You were chosen for impact. And impact does not come without resistance. It is time to stop seeing your struggles as burdens and start seeing them as evidence. You were not overlooked. You were not forgotten. You were chosen. Now, the question is, what will you do with that truth? Your path was never meant to be easy. Others were chosen too, but their paths were different, softer, easier. Yours was never meant to be. There are those who seem to glide through life effortlessly. Their struggles are light, their burdens few. They move forward with little resistance, doors opening before them without a battle. And then there's you. Your road has been different. The weight you carry is heavier. The challenges you face are greater. And no matter how hard you try, it feels like nothing comes easily. It has been this way for as long as you can remember. You have watched others rise faster, succeed with less effort, and walk paths that seem free of obstacles. You've asked yourself, why is my journey so much harder? But what if I told you that the difficulty of your path is proof of your significance? A warrior is not trained like an ordinary citizen. A leader is not prepared like a follower. The ones who are destined for greatness must endure training that others will never experience. And so, your road was never meant to be smooth. It was meant to shape you, to strip away weakness, to carve out the kind of strength that only comes from struggle. If your mission were small, your path would be easy. If your impact were insignificant, your obstacles would be few. But you were never meant for a small life. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were called to stand apart, to carry a weight that others could never bear. That is why the easy road was never an option for you, because you were being prepared for something far greater. Have you ever noticed how the strongest trees are the ones that have withstood the fiercest storms? How the sharpest swords are the ones that have endured the hottest fires? Weakness is never forged in ease. Strength is not born from comfort. There is a reason your path has been so different. You were never meant to have an ordinary life. The pain, the trials, the moments where you felt like you had nothing left, these were not signs that you were failing. They were signs that you were being built. But let's be honest, the weight of it has been unbearable at times. You have watched others succeed while you struggled. You have seen people walk through open doors while yours remained shut. And you have wondered, why must my journey be this way? Because your mission is different. You were chosen for something that demands more from you. More endurance, more resilience, more faith. The world is filled with those who were given easier paths, but their destiny is not your destiny. You are not just another person moving through life. You are being refined, prepared, and positioned for something beyond what you can see. You may not understand why the road has been this hard. You may not see the full picture yet, but one day you will look back and realize that every battle, every hardship, every tear was shaping you into the person you needed to become. The easy road was never meant for you, because you were created for something greater. Fire does not destroy gold, it purifies it. Pressure does not crush a diamond, it forms it. The trials you have faced were never meant to break you. They were meant to refine you. Look at your life, the struggles you have endured, the moments you thought would be your end, the nights you wept wondering if you would ever rise again. And yet, you are still here. That alone is proof of something undeniable. You were designed to withstand what others could not. Some people fold under pressure, they crumble when life becomes difficult. But you have been through storms that should have destroyed you. You have walked through fires that should have consumed you. And yet, you remain, not because you are lucky, not because you are merely strong, but because resilience is woven into your very being. This is no accident. It is not coincidence. It is by design. You were not created to be fragile. You were not formed to shatter at the first sign of hardship. No, you were built for the battle. Your spirit carries the mark of those who endure, those who rise, those who refuse to be defeated. That is why you have faced what you have. That is why your journey has been one of fire, not ease, because you were never meant to be ordinary. You were always meant to be extraordinary. Think back to the hardest moments of your life, the times when the weight was unbearable, when you felt isolated, abandoned, exhausted. Did you notice something? Every time you thought you had reached your breaking point, something deep inside you refused to surrender. That is not mere strength. That is something divine. Resilience is not just about surviving, it is about transforming. The challenges that were meant to destroy you have instead sharpened you, molded you, fortified you. Where others would have fallen, you adapted. Where others gave up, you persevered. And now, whether you realize it or not, you have become someone different, someone stronger, someone unshakable. A sword is not made by placing metal on a shelf and waiting for it to harden. It is made by subjecting it to fire, by hammering it again and again until it takes its final form. That is what life has done to you. The flames you have walked through were not punishments. They were preparation. The truth is, if your life had been easy, you would not have developed the endurance you now carry. If your road had been smooth, you would not have gained the wisdom that sets you apart. If your battles had been lighter, you would not be the warrior you are today. You were built for resilience, and every hardship has proven that. Others may have had an easier path, but they were not meant to walk your journey. You were created for something greater, and because of that, you have been forged in the fire. And fire does not destroy the chosen, it refines them. God does not choose the weak for the toughest battles. From the very beginning, you were set apart. The battles you faced were never ordinary because you were never ordinary. Life has a way of revealing who people truly are. Some collapse under pressure, some retreat when things get hard. But you endured. And that endurance was no accident. You see, God does not place heavy burdens on weak shoulders. He does not call the faint-hearted to stand on the front lines. When the battle is the most intense, when the weight is the heaviest, only the strongest are chosen to carry it. That means something. It means that the pain you have faced was not a sign of abandonment, but of trust. You were given struggles not to crush you, but to prove you could overcome them. Others may have had an easier road, but that is because they were never meant to carry what you were chosen to bear. Think about this. If you were weak, the enemy would have left you alone. If you were unimportant, life would not have tested you this way. The very fact that you have faced such opposition is proof of your significance. And yet, despite it all, they underestimated you. They thought you would fold under pressure. They thought the trials would break you. They expected you to give up, to lose hope, to walk away. But you didn't. Every time you were knocked down, you stood back up. Every time the storm raged against you, you planted your feet and endured. Because you were never weak, you were never fragile. You were built for this. They saw the weight you carried, and they assumed it would break you. They whispered behind closed doors, predicting your downfall. They watched from a distance, waiting for the moment you would collapse. But instead of breaking, you grew stronger. What they failed to understand is that pressure does not weaken the chosen, it fortifies them. The very struggles that should have drained you only deepened your resolve. The very attacks meant to destroy you only sharpened your focus. Look back at all you have endured. The betrayals, the disappointments, the hardships that came when you least expected them. Any one of those could have been the end of your story. But they weren't, because you are not like the others. You were never meant to take the easy road. You were never meant to be average. And that is why life has tested you in ways that would have broken anyone else. But here you stand, battle-scarred yet unshaken, wounded but undefeated. They miscalculated your strength. They assumed your silence was surrender. They mistook your struggle for weakness. And now they are realizing the truth. You are not just strong, you are unstoppable. The very trials they thought would destroy you have become the foundation upon which you stand. The pain you endured did not diminish you, it defined you. You have been through too much to turn back now. You have overcome too much to let doubt take hold. This is not the time to shrink. This is the time to rise. Because the strongest warriors are not those who have never faced battle, but those who have walked through war and refused to fall. There are no accidental warriors. No soldier steps onto the battlefield unprepared. And you have been trained in the harshest conditions, sharpened by trials that were never meant to destroy you, but to prepare you. Think about it. Every hardship, every betrayal, every moment of isolation, it was never random. It was never meaningless. It was all part of something bigger. You see, a weapon is not dangerous until it has been sharpened. A blade fresh from the forge is still dull, still unfinished. It must be pressed against the grinding stone over and over until the edge is razor sharp. And that is exactly what life has done to you. The struggles that cut you were not meant to wound you. They were meant to shape you. The losses you endured were not meant to weaken you. They were meant to harden you for the battles ahead. The opposition you faced was never proof that you were alone. It was proof that you were chosen. Because here's the truth. No enemy wastes time on someone who is not a threat. If you were insignificant, if your calling was small, you would have never faced such intense battles. The very fact that you have been attacked so relentlessly is evidence of your power. And now, after all you have endured, something has changed. You are no longer the person you once were. You are no longer untested. You are no longer unaware of your own strength. The sharpening process was painful, but it was necessary. Because now, you are ready. The trials you faced were not pointless struggles. They were intentional preparation. Every hardship, every sleepless night, every season of pain was forging something within you, something the world does not yet fully understand. You have been through the fire, but you did not burn. You have walked through storms that would have drowned others, but you did not sink. And now you stand, not as you once were, but as something greater. Because when a warrior is sharpened, he does not become fragile. He becomes dangerous. Your enemies thought they were weakening you, but instead they were refining you. They believed their attacks would silence you, but they only gave you a greater voice. They expected their rejection to make you crumble, but all it did was reinforce your foundation. And now they are afraid because they see what they have done. They see that their efforts to break you have only made you unstoppable. They see that the very pain they inflicted has become your greatest source of power. You are no longer soft, no longer uncertain, no longer questioning whether you were truly meant for something greater. You know now. You feel it deep within your bones. You are a weapon forged in fire. You are a warrior who has been trained in battle. You are not just ready, you are chosen. And now it is time to move forward. Because the war is not over, and you were never meant to stand on the sidelines. You were called to conquer. The sharpening was only the beginning. Now, the real battle begins. There comes a moment in every great battle when the tide shifts. When the opposition, once so sure of victory, realizes they have made a grave mistake. This is that moment. For so long, the forces against you believed they were winning. Every setback, every betrayal, every hardship, they saw it as confirmation that you would never rise. They saw you down and assumed you would stay down. They laughed at your struggles, convinced you would never recover. But now they are watching in disbelief, because you are still here. You should have given up. By all logic, by all human reasoning, you should have folded under the pressure. You should have broken beneath the weight of everything that was thrown at you. And yet, you did not. And this is why the enemy is panicking. Because they did not expect you to survive. They did not think you would endure the fire, let alone walk out of it stronger. Understand this. Your resilience has exposed their weakness. The forces that once seemed so powerful, so immovable, are now shaken. Because everything they used against you, everything they counted on to destroy you, has only made you bolder. The enemy always fears what it cannot control. And you are now beyond their control. Your past no longer holds you hostage. Your pain no longer dictates your future. The lies spoken against you no longer have power. And because of that, their time is running out. The greatest fear of your enemy is not your suffering. It is not your pain. It is not even your battles. Their greatest fear is your awakening. Because the moment you realize who you truly are, what you are truly capable of, everything changes. And that moment, it has already happened. You are no longer fighting with uncertainty. You are no longer questioning whether you belong on this battlefield. You have seen what you have overcome. You have felt your own strength. And now, they are the ones who are afraid. Because the traps they set for you have failed. The doors they tried to close have only led you to something greater. The people who abandoned you thought you would be lost without them, but instead, you found yourself. The panic has begun. The enemy is scrambling. The forces that once seemed so overwhelming are now realizing they are up against something they cannot defeat. You were chosen for this, not just to endure, not just to survive, but to overcome. Every scar is a testament to your strength. Every hardship was a stepping stone. Every battle was proof that you were never just an ordinary fighter. And now it is too late for them to stop you. You will rise. You will conquer. You will take back what was stolen because the battle has already been decided, and you were always meant to win. The battles behind you have shaped you, but the war is not over. The road ahead is long, and it will not be easy, but now you understand something you did not before. You were made for this. You no longer walk with hesitation. You no longer doubt whether you have what it takes, because after everything you have faced, after every storm you have survived, you now know the truth. You are unstoppable. The path before you will demand more of you than ever before. It will require unshakable faith, unwavering discipline, and relentless endurance. But do not be afraid, because you have already proven you can withstand the fire. There will be moments when you are tested again, moments when the weight of your purpose feels overwhelming. But remember, you were not chosen for comfort. You were chosen for conquest. And the road ahead, it does not end in defeat. It ends in victory. You are stepping into a new season, one where your struggles no longer define you, your strength does. One where your past no longer holds power, your purpose does. Go forward with confidence, walk boldly into your calling, and never forget, the world will remember your name. This is the moment you step fully into who you were always meant to be. You have been tried, tested, and refined. You have walked through fire, and you have emerged stronger than even you imagined. And now, there is only one thing left to do. Move forward. No more hesitation. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more questioning if you are ready. You are ready. The trials that once made you doubt yourself have now become your greatest source of power. The wounds that once hurt you have healed into scars, scars that tell the story of a warrior who refused to break. The enemy that once laughed at your struggles now trembles at your strength. The obstacles that once stood in your way now serve as proof that nothing can stop you. You were chosen for this moment. You were called for this purpose. And no force on this earth, no hardship, no opposition, no darkness can take away what has already been written. So go forth, walk in the authority that has been given to you. Take hold of the destiny that is yours, because the world will not forget you. You will rise, you will conquer, you will overcome, and nothing can stand in your way. Now go. The time is now. May you walk in strength, never forgetting that every battle was preparation for the greatness ahead. May your steps be guided by wisdom, and may every challenge become a stepping stone to something greater. I speak peace over your mind, peace that surpasses all understanding. No more fear, no more doubt, no more hesitation. May clarity replace confusion, and may confidence replace insecurity. I declare favor over your life. May doors open that no one can shut. May opportunities arise that you never imagined possible. May the right people, the right connections, and the right moments align perfectly in your path. I pray for restoration. Everything you thought was lost, every moment of pain that felt wasted, may it return to you in abundance. May joy replace sorrow, strength replace weariness, and hope replace despair. May you be protected as you walk forward. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No force, no enemy, no opposition will succeed in stopping what has already been set in motion. And above all, may you flourish. May your life be filled with purpose, overflowing with love, and abundant with success. May you rise higher than you ever thought possible, and may your legacy be one of greatness. This is your time. This is your season. You were chosen for a reason. Now go forth in boldness and never forget, nothing can stop you. If this message spoke to you, if you feel its truth in your soul, leave a comment below. Share your testimony. Declare, I was chosen because you were. Like this video, subscribe for more, and remember, your journey is just beginning. Blessings to you always.